How you doing?
I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm amazing, dude. I'm curious. I've not kept up with the NAI at all this year, except for Life and Lindsey Wilson. Those are only two teams I've kept up with at all. Just because I follow Life and I love Omi. He's cool as shit.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. I didn't go there though because it's Georgia, so not really a big fan. Not a big fan of the state, but I do love Life. You guys have an awesome team and an awesome coach.
Thank you.
How's your season going so far?
It's going pretty good so far. Right now I'm 20-0, so looking to hopefully get past the semifinals like last year at nationals. Maybe
Yeah, yeah,
this year.
yeah, yeah. I looked at the rankings. I think the only person you lost to was what, Trevor? Was it, or did you lose to someone else
This year or last year?
last year?
Last year, only person I lost to was Isaac Bartell from Montana State Northern in the semis.
Oh, you didn't wrestle Trevor Lawson, did you?
No, because of the whole COVID, we had everything was split up.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's tough. Yeah, because I literally just looked at the rankings before. I saw Bartel was number one, you're number two, Trevor's number three.
Yeah.
And I was like, did you and Trevor wrestle this year? I don't know. Or did Trevor lose? I don't know. I don't know how rankings work.
Yeah, it's so political. I don't really try to look at them that much as you just go out there and wrestle half the time.
Yeah, dude, I literally didn't look at the rankings once when I was in college.
Yeah.
Now I'm just a fucking fan. So
Yeah.
I'm just an old washed up fan. I don't know. Who's been your toughest match this year? I saw the Grandview match. I saw
Yeah.
that one. I watched them.
I wrestled that kid twice so far. I wrestled him the first time. I beat him 12-0 at the Life U Open, but I'm pretty sure he watched some film and kind of picked up on some things. So, and then the second time we wrestled at national duels, and I beat him 6-5. But we were wrestling a little bit, scrambling around. He picked up on some things, but I just had to come away with a late takedown to win it. But
Yo, yeah, that match was crazy. I was in the airport going home from Canada and I saw your match. I really wanted to see your match and I wanted to see the heavyweight match.
mhm.
And I was actually supposed to come and train with your guys heavyweight. Omi hit me up and I was like, yeah, I'll go for sure. He just never followed up with it. I just go and train a couple times with a bunch of people. But yeah, both of you guys had some close matches. Yeah, dude. So you haven't wrestled Trevor yet, and have you? Did you? You didn't wrestle Bartel yet either this year.
Nope, not this year. We
Um.
were we were supposed to go to Missouri Valley, but we just sent our backup guys because like the whole like just to get everything situated for nationals.
Yeah, dude. Where is Nationals this year? Is it the same place,
I believe so. Yeah.
dude? So you're 20-0. You wrestled the Grandview kid. What's your hardest match been this year? Was it him?
My hardest matchup or like just hardest match in general or
Hardest match so far that you've wrestled this year?
um honestly, I'd have to say my first match of the season against the North Carolina guy. That was probably like my
Oh yeah, dude. That was a crazy match. You got his ass too.
yeah, that was probably my hardest one because like we were going back and forth the whole match. It was a and the ref was that whole duel was kind of if you watch the whole duel, you could just like see that the ref wasn't really on our side the whole time.
No,
Like we were
dude.
all we were in some close matches the whole time with North Carolina. If I don't know, I don't want to be political or anything, but I think he was probably rooting probably on North Carolina's side a lot of the times.
Yeah, bro. It's the Division One versus NAIA school. I think that's usually how it goes. When we wrestled Kent State, it was like the same. And I teched their guy when I wrestled him, and I think he was like, I don't know, ranking like 15th or something at the time. But I swear the ref didn't want to give stall calls in that match. But
Yeah.
I literally destroyed him and I just kept ankle picking him. But yeah, anyways, I think most of the time the refs are gonna be with the D1 guys. Was that the only D1 team you guys wrestled? Was NC?
Uh, yeah, that was our only team we dueled. But then we went to the App State Open and we didn't wrestle in the invite division because I guess they didn't want to wrestle us in the invite, which I guess makes sense. But still, I thought we were wrestling that one, so I was hoping to get to wrestle like some of the top guys from like Arizona State and App State and all that. But
That would have
it
been
was all right.
tough.
It was still good competition though with just the red shirts and everything.
Yeah.
So
Damn. Wait, who? When is we're about to go into February, so conference should be in like a couple weeks, right? Like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
I think it's like February 17th, I believe.
Dude, it's close. Is the MSC back together or
Nope,
no?
they're splitting it back up again.
Bro, that's so stupid. That's horrible. Our tournament was whack. That
Yeah.
the MSC North, I guess we were, is
Mm.
whack. Like it's trash.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I was hoping for like a bigger tournament for that, but I could see why they're doing it because they don't want to make it a 2 day tournament and they want just to like, I don't know. I don't really know why they're doing it this year. Last year it made more sense to because I
It
guess
did.
COVID restrictions and stuff, but I don't understand why they're doing it this year.
No, I mean neither. Have you guys had any COVID issues yet so far?
Uh, nah, not really.
Man,
We're pretty good about that, honestly. Like our guys are we take care of our bodies and stuff like that, and kind of like stay away from
other
the
people
areas stuff like
don't
that.
be out here partying
Oh, yeah.
the week of nationals. I actually went and trained with Mason Paris for 2 weeks and got COVID training with Mason, and so I was out for I guess I was out for like 2 weeks. I was supposed to wrestle like some big duel against some guy who was kind of ass, but apparently he was ranked like third or something. But I don't know. I ended up wrestling him at nationals and I pinned him, so it wasn't that I didn't miss too much. Uh, dude. Anyways, I'll ask. I have a bunch of questions I usually ask people. It's fun to shoot this shit at first though, so just as it's good stuff to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Number one thing I always ask: Where are you from? Are you from Georgia?
No, I'm from Huntington, West Virginia.
Damn,
Yeah.
damn. What? How'd you figure out about life?
Well, I was at a D2 school before I transferred. See, I'm like a junior technically with school, but with the COVID year and everything, I'm only like a sophomore technically with eligibility. So I still got like 3 years, including this year,
Jesus
with
Christ.
eligibility left. And
You're gonna
then
be a
so,
heavyweight?
dude, I'm trying there, but I just can't get past 215 half the time.
Yeah, it's
My body
tough.
won't let me. It's hard.
Yeah, because you probably technique wise, I think you are much better than the whole field at heavyweight, hands down.
Yeah.
But the size does matter, dude. It
Yeah,
really
it does.
does.
Like my wrestle with our heavyweight, where he gets me is just with that weight, man, just neutral wise.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, thanks. So you're at D2.
Yeah,
What school did you go to?
West Liberty University.
Oh, West Liberty. Never heard of them before. Were they in West Virginia?
Yeah, they're up in like near. You have you heard of Willing Jesuit?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they were like the rival school of them, and they were once Willing Jesuit closed down. Their head coach went up to West Lib, and then he recruited me there, and I decided to go there. And then some things can't happen. I just didn't really like it up there. Didn't like the environment that much. Just wasn't my fit.
Right.
And I was like, well, I'm just going to enter the portal because I had a really good freshman year. I went 26-6 as a true freshman.
Oh,
I
shit.
was ranked 14th in the country, but I was just one match shy of going to the nationals because in D2 they only qualified top 3 out of each region.
Yeah.
And then in our region, I had the number, and I was the only freshman. The guys that were above me were seniors. I had the number 6, 8, and 12th guy, and I was ranked 14th and ended up getting 4th in the region. But it was a good freshman year, but just didn't like the environment up there that much. Just wasn't my fit. Really cold. I like the warm weather too much.
Yeah, dude. Fuck that. So you just were like, I'm gonna go to the transfer portal, and did Life reach out to you? Did you reach out to Life?
Well, funny thing about life is like, so my high school coach, John Dempsey, his son wrestled at Life University and was an All-American there. And he told me when I was in the portal, he said, if you're looking to go NAIA or D2, try hitting up Life because Jake really liked it there and you might like it too. So I hit up Coach O, and then he just got me down here on a visit, and I just fell in love with the campus and the environment, honestly.
Yeah, you guys have, in my opinion, from the campuses I've been to, the best campus, hands down.
It's so easy because like all your classes are right there in the undergraduate building. Everything's right there. I live in an apartment now, and I'm literally 2 minutes away from campus. Parked there. All my classes are there. I'm there all day. So,
Yeah,
and the facilities are nice, especially once we get the new mat room up. It should be we should be getting a lot more attention, I believe. In that
yeah.
way.
When are you guys getting the new mat room?
As of right now, they're starting working on it, so it should be done by June. They said.
Dang. Do you stay there during the summer or do you go back home?
Last summer, since I lived in the dorms, they kind of like my year was over. So I was like, I'm gonna go back home and just like kind of train back home because our school is weird because we're on the quarter system. So like we don't get out till like June, like middle of June.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, so we go from like our school starts in October, and then we don't get out till June, and we have like 3 different like trimesters, I guess.
So wait, do you have to get there early to start training though? Like
Yeah,
preparing
yeah.
for
We
season?
normally like we get there around. I got here this year like around August, end of August, and then we just started
Okay.
training then.
Yeah, that makes sense. When I was at Lindsay, I stayed all 4 summers that I was there that I could, but it's because Kentucky, man, it's horrible. It's a horrible state for wrestling. So
Mhm.
if I go home, like back here in Louisville, there's no one to
Mhm.
train with. There's literally
Okay.
there's no one. Everyone's ass. Horrible.
Yeah, I
And
was.
so
I mean, I was blessed with like a great high school coach. He wrestled at Ohio State and really just kind of built me up, built my foundation up, and he made me as good as I am today. I have to say, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be half the wrestler that I am. But I always go back home and train with him and the high school kids and try to give back as much as I can. And I have
yeah,
a couple buddies that wrestle D2 and NAIA that I always train with too. So it's not a bad situation. But I'd rather be down here though, training with the team.
really. You
More
think you'll
nice.
ever stay during the summer? Or
Probably this summer I will since I got my apartment lease. So I'll be here till August.
oh dang, that's good. That's good
Yeah.
then. Say, so you're from West Virginia. Did you win state in West Virginia?
Yeah. My freshman year, I got second, sophomore year, first, junior year, first. And then my senior year, I ended up getting third. But with
Wow.
West Virginia is like, you know how like the two best guys can meet in the semis in West Virginia.
Yeah, because there's no seating. It's just like
No seeding.
Kentucky. Same
It's
thing.
terrible. Yeah, I hated that, but me and the guy that we wrestled in the semis had a really good match. Just some things didn't go my way and ended up losing the match, but it was okay. I got him back at nationals in the spring, so it was
Mm.
okay.
Is he still wrestling?
Yeah, he wrestled up at the VU actually.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, why didn't you consider that school, by the way, like Division 1?
I went on a lot of visits to a lot of Division 1 schools like during high school, and like they just weren't going to offer any money, man. No offense to West Virginia WU wrestling, but like they don't want to offer kids from West Virginia any money.
No, I 100% agree.
And
I
like
mean,
you could be one of the you could beat like the best guys in the room and
mhm,
still not get any money from them. Like I went on a couple D1 visits and just I really just didn't want to pay for school. That was my main priority. I thought I was good
yeah,
enough to get my school paid for.
I, yep, literally same thing. That's why I went to Lindsey Wilson. I got
Yeah.
offered like a half ride to go to Campbell.
Mhm.
And I
But
was like,
still, it's expensive to go there for
I was
that.
like, what? And I was like, oh, that sounds great. And then
Yeah,
my stepdad, he looked it up. It was $50,000 a year to go there.
yeah,
And you don't get grants like you get at like NAIA school. So I'd basically be paying $25,000 out of pocket
yeah.
to go there. And I was
Yeah,
like, fuck that.
$100,000 in debt at the end of your 4 years.
Yeah. And it's crazy. And people like go and do that. And I was like, I was pretty good in high school. I was a 2-time
Mhm.
Fargo All-American. And so I was like, oh yeah, I'd get like a pretty decent scholarship at a D1
Yeah,
school. And it was like, nope, nah, nothing. I'm not
they just
champ.
don't.
So
They just don't have the money to give. I mean, which I don't blame them sometimes. And like certain conferences, they have to hold the scholarship for all 4 years for the athlete. Like the
yeah.
Big 12 conference, they told me that you have to hold the scholarship. So if you wrestled, like, so they offered you a full ride your freshman year, they have to
Mhm.
be liable to that full ride. They can't take it away from you unless you get in trouble.
That's stupid. I
Yeah.
I guess in the NAIA you can basically just take it away. Like after the season's over, you can take it away because
Yeah.
that happened a lot at Lindsey Wilson. I don't know about your guys' situation, but like we'd have kids who come in who are really really good, and
Mhm.
then they just be shitheads and then kind of start to suck towards the end of the season, and the coach would just be like, "Well, sorry, like
Yeah.
see you later." But for good teams, you kind of have to do that. I mean, life is, I mean, for sure a better team than Lindsey Wilson right now. And
Yeah.
it's like I kind of wonder like what's the culture like at Life like because you guys are from my first year
Mhm.
of wrestling in the NAI to like the last one you guys totally changed like the because it's crazy you guys won nationals last year and
Yeah.
to be honest no
We,
one expected it except for you guys probably.
honestly, dude, I when we went into the national tournament, I didn't think we were going to win it. I like in my thought, I was like, I'm just going to do the best I can. And by like the last day at national, I was like, holy shit, we're about to win. I was like, damn, this is crazy. And then it
Yeah.
came down to your match, and I was like, dear God, please don't lose, man. I was like, please. I was like, I want to win this natty real quick.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
dude.
but
Homie
like
said it to me.
our environment, man, just kind of changed. A lot of us just became we're real close as a team, man. Like all of us are, and we really don't like if we're like all together, like in the off season, like hanging out and doing whatever. We're always together as a team. Like there's not really like we're not really hanging out with like nobody's really singled out by themselves, and we just kind of just bond together a lot.
Yeah, you guys are like
And I
brothers.
think that really kind of like separated us last year when we, especially with COVID, because we always had to be together and stuff like that. So we kind of
Mhm.
just got a strong bond as a team and really built from that.
Yeah, dude, that's really good. Lindsey Wilson had it was not that last year. My first 2 years at Lindsey, it was like that. The last 2 years, man, it was I don't know. It was clicks, and honestly, like I thought we had a lot of talent on our team, but we just struggled at being like a family, like to be
Yeah.
completely honest. And it was like it was cool to see life win because I thought I was gonna go all 4 years with Grandview winning, and
Yeah.
when I heard it was like I was like the last match in my head, I fucking knew I wasn't losing. I was like, this
Yeah.
guy sucks. Like he can't take me down. And I mean, he didn't. So I was kind of confident. I kind of was trying to pin him, and it didn't really work. But whatever. I'm still happy. I was still pumped for life to win. Um, I was like, I'm a part of the team today. That's what Omi said. Omi told me that.
Yeah. I was just sitting in the stands. I had like my eyes covered the whole time. Like I was down by the floor. I remember like right by the podium because I was like we had to go take our pictures like right before yours.
Yeah.
And I was like, dear God, I couldn't watch, dude. I was like, oh, just please just like do something.
The stress of the match.
It
Did
was
you end up
stressful,
getting
man.
Yeah, dude. Did you end up getting third?
Yeah, I finished third.
Who did you wrestle for third and fourth place? Do you know?
Antonio Stewart from Reinhardt.
Oh yeah. He's a coach now, I think, at Reinhardt. Yeah. Dang. Yeah, that's crazy. So I guess Trevor wrestled another 197 from your guys' team. Did you guys have two 197 pounders?
Last year we did. Me and Diallo. Diallo finished fifth, and I finished third.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Did he wrestle? I don't know. I thought Trevor wrestled. Whatever. And you guys don't wrestle Lindsey Wilson this year, right?
No, we our last two duels. We have a duel tomorrow against Cumberland, Tennessee, and then I think we finish up next week against Southeastern before conference.
Right. How's and how's Brandon Orem? Orem, how's his season going?
Oh, Orm's doing good, man. He had a few bumps from Grandview kid, kind of caught him off guard there, but I think he'll be ready for nationals though. Honestly,
Yeah, was it a pretty close match?
yeah, it was. It was a good match though. It was a really good match. Just some things just didn't go his way. But that dude, like Grandview, the whole tournament, they were watching us like hawks, man. Like they had their like video cameras just like sitting there videoing us like against like Campbellsville, like our other duels.
Yeah.
Wasn't even watching their own duel. They were more worried about us the whole time. And I was like, if you have to win like that, man, like come on.
Yeah, yeah. They're like super hardcore about the film thing. It's like I can't blame them because you guys are
Yeah.
so good. Like you guys are this team you guys have, I think is better than the team you had last year. And
Yeah, I think so too.
and they're just trying to catch up. What wasn't they supposed to have like Ben Provisor on their team or something?
Yeah, but apparently he got injured or something at the beginning of the year, and so
I'm happy that
I
happened.
don't really know his deal.
I'm very happy
I just
that
thought, I just thought that was so weird that he would come back when he was like, I don't know how old he's like 32 or something like that.
yeah, dude, he's an old ass man. I don't know. I think it's sketchy. I don't see how he could just
Yeah.
go to Grandview. You're an Olympian. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
allowed to compete in
Making
the
money off
NAIA.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I figured once you like started making money off of your, but I
Yeah.
guess because the name and likeness rule kind of changed the game a little bit. too.
Yeah, the NIL deal. Speaking of that, did you do any NIL?
No, I did not actually. I've just been kind of just mostly just been chilling, honestly. Nobody really hit me up. I mean, I wish they would just like give NAIA guys a lot more respect, in my opinion.
That's why I'm doing this, dude. Like I'm right now.
I
Yeah,
really respect you for doing that, man, because we really need the support as much as we can because Flow Wrestling and all them don't want to cover us.
they're asshats, dude. Like this is the biggest problem. So I do wrestling privates. That's basically my full-time job, and I do camps and so most of my work is online or I teach wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's like I've literally met parents who are like, I want my kid to be a Division I wrestler. And I'm like, dude,
You want them to pay for school? Like, you want
yeah,
that to
because they're
happen?
not going to be good enough. Like, and for my parents who are listening to this, and I know they're going to listen because they always tell me they do. It's not saying your kid can't be good enough, but it's
Yeah.
like it's less than 1%, like of like the wrestlers who can actually go, or athletes in general who can go to Division I. And it's like, why does that have to be the only option? Like it's so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, there's a lot of NAIA guys that could easily wrestle D1,
Easily,
and a lot of D2 guys and D3 guys that could easily wrestle D1, and
easily.
they just don't want to pay for school, and I don't blame them.
No, me neither. Yeah, I don't blame him at all because like even like Mason, he didn't have a full ride when he first got into college, and he's a
Mhm.
junior world champ
Yeah,
and three-time
that's
state
insane.
champ in Indiana. And it's like, dude didn't have he has a full ride now, obviously Division I
Oh
national
yeah,
finalist. But it's like, dude, they don't want to give. Well, they can't. Again, it's not the coach's fault, right? But it's
yeah.
like they
It's
just don't
limited
have the resources.
because of
It
football and all those other sports now.
Yeah,
All
some
got sponsored teams.
football, and I don't know. I just think, and then this might sound bad again. I've gotten some slack for saying this. It's like your kid may never be a national champion if they go D1 or
Yeah,
D2.
may
You
not even
know,
start.
may not even ever start, but then they might have the chance to
Hmm.
win a national title or be an All-American or something. And
Yeah.
yes, it's not a Division I national title, but it's like
A national title is a national title.
a freaking national title. It feels the same. You know
It
what I
feels
mean?
exactly the
You're
same.
you're not trying to compare yourself to a Division I guy. That's
Mhm.
not the point of it. The biggest thing is that they can like fulfill their dreams and then hopefully monetize it afterwards, which I think NAI guys don't do very well, is
Yeah.
monetize themselves after they graduate college. I yeah, I
I just
don't see too
I feel
many.
like probably a lot of them honestly just don't feel like there's a lot of opportunities out there for them because they're in AI. Honestly,
Well, they gotta fucking give their balls a tug, because
yeah.
it's wrong. And like for me, like I I would say like I'm lucky to have lots of great mentors.
Mhm.
Um, but you have to put yourself out there. Like you have to
Yeah, you can make
consistently,
connections with people.
yeah, make
Yeah,
connections, get a freaking website, consistently talk to people, go to high school tournaments, give out flyers, advertise,
yeah.
have cheap privates, and then allow yourself to build and
Oh
grow.
yeah.
Do camps for almost basically for free, and then eventually
That,
you'll be doing it for a lot of money.
that's what I
Um,
love. That's what I love. A lot of times I do in the summers, just helping kids out, like just local kids in West
mhm,
Virginia. Because like not a lot of kids like understand. And I'm like, dude, I'll come help out, man. You don't even have to pay me half the damn time. Like
exactly,
I just like to give back to the sport because I was gave people would come back and help me. So
one
I love
hundred
giving
percent.
back.
I will say after college, you gotta be careful with that though, because I'll tell you this, and I just told Andreas Bond this. You got to know your value, like
Yeah.
in that way. You don't fucking charge people crazy amount of
Oh
money, but
yeah.
like man, like if you have someone who's consistently asking you to come to their room and like do technique, unless it's like your high school coach or something,
Yeah.
like that's
I never,
totally
I
different.
never, I never would ever charge my high school coach anything for that stuff.
Never. Same. I'm actually gonna fly out to Nebraska where Coach Bradbury, he was my assistant coach, and
Mhm.
I just told him like, you guys don't have to charge me anything, just pay
Yeah.
me, pay for my ticket to get there
Yeah.
and my housing, and I'm gonna do like a camp at Concordia,
Mhm.
ironically enough, and but yeah, like for other people, man, you gotta like put a little bit of money on there, even if it's like $100 or $200 for like a camp or something. Like you don't have to be $1,000 for a camp,
Oh yeah.
because it is hard to get those type of camps. Like I've done it a couple of times, but it's like I have to hustle super hard. You have to get tons of kids, and then most of the time you have to give money back to the people who allow you to host a camp.
Stressful. Very stressful.
Yeah, and then you have to pay taxes. By the way, when
Yeah.
you become an adult, they don't fucking tell you this in college, but all the money you make, even if it's cash, somebody wrote you off with their
Oh,
taxes, so the IRS knows that you got cash handed to you. And I'm like, what the fuck? No one told me this. So like, yeah, I don't know how they do it. Government's fucking with us, dude. I got distracted. I gotta ask you another question. Other than wrestling, what sports have you done?
Uh, well, when I was growing up in West Virginia, my dad let me play all the sports possible. I played baseball, soccer, football, but I was too physical of a person to like I liked hitting people and I like wrestling. So it's
Yeah,
like perfect. Wrestling was my fit. Wrestling and football. That's what I mostly played from like third grade to high school. And then I had to focus on something. I was like, am I going to go D1 in football? So what's my likelihood of me going D1 in football? I'm
0%.
like probably 0% chance, especially being from West Virginia. But if I lived in like Florida, maybe Georgia, where football's big, I've been like, maybe I would give a little bit more of a shot. But West Virginia, you're not going to get recruited for football. And I was like, well, I'll just stick with wrestling. So I just stuck with wrestling in high school and just really kind of focused up on it. And I'm glad I did. But there's sometimes every now and then I'm like, damn, I wish I would have played college football because I just like watching it sometimes. I'm like, oh, I miss it.
It's beautiful, right? But it is true. Like even me, like I'm a big guy, but man, I am I'm small for a football player. For the average football player, I'm a very small guy, and I'm not fast. Like I can't run fast.
I'm slow as shit too, man. I was like,
yeah. I can barely wrestle, dude. I don't know how the fuck I won so many times. I fucking suck, but it worked out some way. But yeah, I'm with you. I did a couple of sports. I did track, I did soccer, I did wrestling, I did rugby, and I did judo, and now I do jujitsu. But like my second favorite sport I ever played, rugby, 100%. I thought I was gonna go pro. I'm not good like that.
In life, we got a really good rugby team here.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing, except college fucking sucks. And I love being an adult. It's one of the things. Like I got asked to come back to wrestle another year from so many schools. Man, a ridiculous amount of schools actually. And I was just like, man, nah, I'm good. The grind, I don't know how your guys' practices are, but I assume most college practices are pretty similar, especially in the postseason. I mean, you got privates with your coach like 3 or 4 times a week, plus you got team practice, plus you're lifting, doing cardio, doing shit on it. You're dieting super hard. Like, man, the level of discipline it took from, at least for me, to like be successful, I was just like, I want to put that energy in a different area, you know? And so that's why I was like, nope. Because I had coaches begging me, well, you know, not to toot my own horn, but like, especially in the NAIA, I had coaches like beg. Yeah. And I was just like, nah, nope, I'm done. I'm completely done with this. I'll let somebody else win. So, you know, yeah, I'll give somebody else a chance. I'm really rooting for your guys' heavyweight. You know, I like his style. He's tough, but he needs to gain some technique with that toughness. I watched his match against the Grandview dude, and I was just like, man, you got to get better on bottom. And you got to stop letting this Grandview guy shoots with one hand. He shoots with his right hand. And these are like little details that guys have to know. And it's like, man, the Grandview guy sucks. It's just, you just got to shut him down. But I'm only such a great coach, dude. I bet that match goes the other way. I don't think Grandview guys going to win the national title this year.
I think it'll be an interesting one at heavyweight this year.
So, there's the Doan guy too.
There's a couple of guys in there that are pretty tough. That Doan guy, and then I don't know who else. I don't know. I really haven't followed heavyweight that much, but I know there's a couple like tough guys in there that could make a good run for it.
I think there's 3. I think there's Doan, Grandview, Life. I think the Life kid has like the most upside because he's the youngest. Mm-hmm. That Doan guy is so good. He is crazy strong and just so technical. He's technical. He's like 30 years old.
Yeah, so, it's because they're Mongolian. I think a lot of the Mongolian kids go there.
Yeah,
I watched them wrestle, dude. They're tough on their feet, man. Tough, like
super,
just form, like almost like a Russian. Like, have you ever seen like a Russian wrestle? They're just like so tough on their feet, like hard to break position.
Yeah, like Batterdine, I think that's his name. Batterdine Bolma is the Doan kid. Do you guys have a pretty good 140? Is that 141 pounder on your guys?
Yeah, we have a pretty good one there. We have a couple guys that dropped down, so it's gonna be interesting how Nationals is going to shape up this year.
Yeah, dude, I'm super pumped to watch. I'm gonna like cry watching. I hope. Well, dang. See, Trevor's gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I'm hoping to see some good matches at 197.
Yeah,
you know. Regardless of who's in the finals, you know, I don't really have a side anymore. So I like your style. So I hope to see you there, whether it's you and Trevor or you and Bartel. Someone got to beat Bartel, man. He's about 50 years old, and you motherfuckers can't keep letting this old man beat your ass. All right.
When I seen he was coming back, I was like, a little bit part of me was like, damn, he's coming back again. Then again, I was like, I'd rather him come back though, because I want to beat him. I don't that loss last year didn't really sit with me well. And I was like, I want to come back and beat his ass this year.
You got to, dude. How was the match? How'd that match go with you and Barthel?
It was I didn't know how he wrestled before. And like I tried looking up film and it was kind of hard to find anything on him because like they wrestle out in Montana a lot. And I was like, we can't find anything on this guy. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go out here and just wrestle my match and just do whatever I can. And it was a good match, dude. It was like even the first period, it was like 0-0. We couldn't really get on each other's shots. Almost threw him in a headlock, but my feet were out of bounds. I was like, damn, if only I was in bounds for that one. But ended up 1-1 after one. Well, I got hit with a stalling call in the third period, and I was like, damn, like how are you gonna hit me with a stalling when we're both not doing anything? The ref did, but I guess he would want more action. So it was 1-1 in the third period. I took a shitty shot. He ended up like getting two, and I was like, damn, I gotta get my takedown. So last 30 seconds left. It's 3-2. I'm neutral with him. I had to go for something, so I just tried to get another shot in. Couldn't finish it. He got around, got two, beat me 5-3 because I got away at the end of that one.
Dang, so it's actually a pretty close match.
Yeah,
he's pretty stingy. Like I kind of wanted to wrestle him because he bumped up to heavyweight a couple times. I was like, I would have liked this match. I don't think their coach would have allowed that match to happen with me and him. But he's super tough. I think you got him. Like I said, like when I watched you in that Grandview match, I mean that was still good. You're really freaking good at scrambling.
I love scrambling, especially for a big guy.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck. You and him, honestly, that Grandview kid, very good at scrambling too. I was like, fuck, what do they feed the Grandview people? Because everyone on their team can scramble really, really well.
I used to be a little guy, believe it or not. Like I used to wrestle like 138 and like 152, like in high school.
Oh shit!
I didn't get big until my junior or senior year, and I just kind of like kept with my little guy style.
Yeah,
followed up with, and it's been real effective since then.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you guys have like a lifting program at Life? Like, do you guys follow like some type of like schedule or whatever?
Some guys do, some guys don't. I follow my own mostly. I lift 3 days a week, run 2 days, try to keep it up, and then in the off season, I'm lifting 5 or 6 times a week.
We're literally exactly the same as me. 3 days a week, lifting, 2 days a week, doing some type of cardio. One day I have like a chill day.
Yeah, I always like to try to rest on the weekend, especially like a Sunday or a Saturday.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, what kept you in wrestling? This is a really good question to ask.
All right. Well, I started when I was 8 years old, and I had a lot of like tough matches and stuff. Because I grew up in a small town, and I had a lot of years where I was just like, man, do I really want to do this anymore? And my dad just kept reminding me. It was mostly my dad that kept me through it, and because my dad was never like hard on me like some of those parents are that are like insane. My dad always was just real supportive of whatever I did. He didn't care what I did, as long as I gave him my all, and just like he would support me through it all. And he really helped me a lot through all that. And I mostly just kind of like found my groove in high school once I got up to Coach Rob Archer in Huntington. He was like my second father up there. Like, he's the one that made me want to pursue college wrestling, because he made me believe in myself and believe that I was good. And that really helped out a lot, especially having like a great role model like that in my life. Both of them, my dad and Coach Archer. That was probably what kept me in it the most.
Awesome. So what about like at your biggest moment of adversity? Like a moment that was like just something crazy. Like for me, I tore my LCL 3 weeks before the national tournament in 2020. So I had this big ass brace going into the national finals on, and I was on a bunch of pain meds, and I was just felt horrible. And that for me, like that's what I tell people, that that's the biggest piece of adversity that's ever, and that's the biggest or the most adverse moment of my wrestling career. So for you, what's that been?
My whole career?
Yep.
Honestly, I have to say my senior year, I got a little bit of trouble with some stuff, and then I don't really want to go into detail about it.
Of course, yeah.
Right before my state tournament, I was like really dealing with some like really bad anxiety and depression. Really didn't know if I wanted to like pursue it, but I had to just like dig deep for the high school team and just finish my season out on a high note. Ended up losing in the semis, but it was a good lesson to be learned from that, because you're only going to build from that from yourself.
Yeah.
And then continue to deal with that stuff for a while, and then finally got into it, broke free of all those like demons inside, and just really went to therapy and everything like that, and just kind of found my calling, just wrestling in college and enjoying life for once.
That's freaking awesome, dude. Yeah, I think it's super important to do therapy. Actually, that's my degree is like counseling and therapy. And so I part of my degree was I had to
Yeah.
do a 12 weeks of therapy. So once a week I went in and I did sessions and it actually helped me a lot.
It's so beneficial. It's so beneficial. It helped me out a lot. Helped me out of a lot of dark places in my life.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be the same without it, honestly. Like no matter how big and strong you may be on the
Yep.
outside, the inside we're all the same.
Yep.
Like it helps out a lot.
I agree, dude. It's super important, man. And therapy, like for me, like one of the biggest things that I got from it is I mean, just that and just life experiences with wrestling, especially is because I was going through not the same thing as you, but I had some adversity myself with wrestling, like just
Mhm.
finding myself way too attached to the sport of wrestling. And then eventually I just worked through some stuff. And just it allowed me to enjoy wrestling more because I started
Yeah.
to detach who I am as a person from my sport and being this big tough guy. Like I basically took myself out of like those labels and
Mhm.
it just made me happy. I started studying Japanese. I started hanging out with people. I started traveling a lot. And I was like, oh, dude, fucking life's way better when you don't, for one, when you go to
Don't put
therapy or
stress on yourself about it.
yeah, don't fucking
Just
stress
go out
about
there
it.
and have fun. And once I realized how to do that, just go out there and have fun. Like it changed my whole complexion of the sport. Like I really enjoy it. Like so much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. What's your pre-match routines? Like what do you do before every match? Or is there music, thoughts,
Uh,
warm up?
I start off. I don't warm up until like probably 157. I'll go put some headphones on, just get some music, just get feeling right, and then I'll take them off about either 74, 84, and I'll just sit there and joke around. I love joking. Like
Yeah.
I'm normally smiling the whole time, like before and after the match. Like I'm like, it's just a match, man. Like I have no hard feelings. Even if you beat me, I'm gonna be like, man, good match. Like great match out there. I gave them all. That's all I need to know.
That's exactly right. I love that. So like I usually take clips and I'll
Mm.
post it. And I think I'll post that one because it's true, dude. Like who cares if you lose? Like it's
Yeah,
for one, it's the NAIA. For
dude, just go
two,
out
it
and have fun.
yeah, dude. Two, this doesn't last forever.
Yeah,
Um,
enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoy every minute of it. You're gonna lose again at some point. Well, maybe not. You don't really know, but
Never know.
the possibility is high for each of us. I mean, I lost I won nationals and then I lost my very first match
Yeah,
that I came back the following year. That I won my first national title. It's like but it didn't define me. Like I was in a good place to where I was like, nah, that's okay. Like whatever, good, like great match. It's super. I don't know. I just think it's super important to just do what you said. Like just be relaxed, go out there, have fun.
yeah. Don't
Um,
hold grudges against people. If they beat you, man, like I always think to, I'm like, even if the guy beats, I'm like, hey, great match, man. Like hope to wrestle again soon. Hopefully I win next time, but
yeah, it's like I
like,
want to win, but like
yeah,
thanks for the match, like because it is a learning experience. I was telling someone, yeah, Andreas, I was talking to him, and it's like I do jujitsu now, and I love how in jujitsu, not everyone has to compete, but everyone's still training just as much as wrestlers or even
yeah.
more. But they literally might just go for like the martial arts self defense side of it. And I'm like, man, with if wrestling had like the approach in our mind where we're just allowed to train and
Mm-hmm.
and like that's enough, like it would make people enjoy wrestling a lot more. Because there's no pressure. Like if you compete,
Oh yeah,
okay. If you don't, okay, no one really cares. Like that's how it is in the jiu-jitsu community. But in wrestling, it's like if you're wrestling, you have to compete and you're kind of wanting to win. Um, it's not like that in other
yeah.
martial
I don't, man.
arts.
Don't get me wrong. I don't go out there to lose. I go out there to win every match. I'm like,
Oh,
I don't.
100. Let's clarify this right now. I want to kick everybody's ass.
Yeah,
Like that's my goal. Like fuck my opponent. I talked about this on another podcast that I was on actually,
yeah,
a really famous jujitsu podcast. And they asked me about that. I was like, man, yes. Like my mindset is like, fuck that guy. I'm gonna kick his
yeah,
ass. He sucks. But if I do lose, I do know that I'm more than the sport.
yeah. Be
So
respectful, man. It's the best way.
yeah, exactly. Like be respectful. But yes, the goal is, guys, and this is just to clarify, we are more than wrestling, but at the same time, we want to kick everybody's ass that we wrestle with.
Yeah,
We're not going out there and just being like, well, good, let's have a good match.
yeah,
Let's be nice. No, I'm mean. Like I was hand fighting with an 11-year-old kid today, and I basically punched his face because I'm like, dude, we got to get mean. Like that's this like motherfucker, you can't be soft.
yeah.
Because he lost the match because he just couldn't hand fight very well.
Mhm.
And it was like, all right, you got to learn to be tough. You got to learn to be mean. You got to learn to like
Try
respectfully
to
disrespect your opponent.
Flip the switch. So my high school
Yeah.
coach always told me, he's like, when you go out there, you can be friends with them afterwards, be a class act. But when you're out there, flip the switch, and once you flip the switch, it's a different person.
No, 100%. So what do you think about participation trophies? What do you, I just ask everyone this. This is going to be like one of the big questions that I ask everybody. Like, so what do you think about participation trophies?
In youth wrestling, or like in like middle school and high school?
Let's go youth and then middle school and high school.
Okay. Youth wrestling, I think it's good for the little kids, like the little tiny kids, because they like having trophies and stuff. They really don't care about wrestling yet. They just care about having fun and like getting a trophy. So I could understand giving out those ones to like
Same.
little kids. But when you get up to like, when you're like 11, 10, 9 years old and above, like I think they need to cut that out. For like, it should be for the little tiny kids, like 3, 4, 5, and 6, maybe 7 and 8. Like that might be pushing it there.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I'm very like, yeah, give their kids their piece of cake when they're young, but take that shit away from them as fast as possible when they get a little bit older.
Hard for something.
Yeah.
What you want.
Yeah, because life's not fair. Like, again, like I have privates every day, and I talked about this like 3 days ago. We were cooling down, and a kid had lost because the ref wouldn't call a pin. So he turned the kid, and I don't know, like he was winning, or the kid was winning by like 6 or something. I don't know. And he was like crying because he lost. And I was like, dude, life's not fair. Like you're 11 years old. Like they're not going to give you a medal for losing. You know, like you gotta go take it. And that's why it's like at some point at a pretty young age, not 5, 6, but maybe like, 8, 9, 10, 11, you got to start to learn, like you're going to get screwed by the ref, you're going to lose matches close. And like, there's always going to be like, I don't know if you watched the Penn State Iowa duel.
Yeah, I did. That was a good duel.
Yeah, and there's gonna be matches like the Kimmerer Starocki match where it's like, who knows if Kimmerer had to? Did he? I don't know. Kind of looked like he did. I don't really know. Maybe he didn't.
That was such a weird call too, man. I really couldn't like say anything. I was like, dude, he could have had to, but then they called it too late, and I'm like, well, really
exactly. And you know what's the crazy thing about that? Life's not fair. Like Kimmerer, you needed to freaking take it, but you didn't take it. Like when it was like you had the chance to win the match, you didn't get it done. But Kimmerer is awesome. He freaking understands that. But like as a little kid, you also have to like kind of start to understand that.
Involved at the time, just wrestle your match.
That's right. So who are your biggest inspirations? So I'm gonna ask for one who's like a wrestler specifically, like a guy who's wrestled. And the other one is gonna be a guy who has nothing to do with wrestling. So like for me, Kyle Snyder is like my biggest inspiration for wrestling. Outside of it is Jocko Willing. Like Jocko Willing, nothing to do with wrestling. So those are like my two. So for you, who would those be?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there, honestly.
I know.
One of the most, like, who was the wrestler I looked up to the most when I was in high school? I have to say Kyle Snyder, though. I loved his attitude. Like, just like, I was a Buckeye fan when I was little, though. So, like, I always rooted for the Buckeyes. And then I've seen Kyle Snyder, and I was like, dude, that dude's awesome. Like, I met him in person, like, when I went up to the RTC up there to train. Nicest guy ever. Like, talked to everybody, even though he was an Olympic champ at the time. And I was like, dude, he literally was just talking to me, and I'm just some random high school kid. He's a great dude. Someone that I respect a lot about. And he always kind of kept up with him and just tried to follow him in his like steps. See how he can become a champ, basically. Yeah,
I love him so much because he talks about like for him, he's a really faithful guy. So he just talks about he puts God above everything. Yeah. And then for like, I mean, even for anyone, like you can also use that in the mind, whether it's God, whether it's just the fact that you're more than wrestling. Like you have to make sure you don't put wrestling at the top. That way you can enjoy it. Because Kyle Snyder just keeps losing and in the finals, and that's okay. Like he keeps wrestling and keeps loving and keeps having fun and has a great attitude about it. So what about outside of wrestling, if you could think?
Outside of wrestling, that's a really tough one, honestly, because my world's been around wrestling the whole time. So
I know you never listened to like David Goggins or someone.
David Goggins, don't get me wrong. I like David Goggins. The motivation is good in the morning, but damn, I get tired of hearing who's going to carry the boat. So I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I got that enshrined in my ring, like one of my national championship rings. It's really? Like who's gonna? Yeah, because like every day I would get up and listen to that fucking motivational speech at 5:30 in the morning. My roommate Derek Smallwood at the time would be like, "Who's gonna carry the boats, Brandon?" And I'd be like, "All right, motherfucker, let's go." And we ran a marathon, and we would just yell at each other randomly through the marathon. Like, who's gonna carry the boats? And I'm with you, bro. I haven't listened to that once since I finished college. So
Yeah, but I'm trying to think here though. That's a tough one. Honestly, that has nothing to do with wrestling. Probably Tim Tebow. I just liked his.
wow.
I've
Okay.
always liked him when I was a little kid, and I just liked his positive. Even if he like got cut from a baseball team, cut from a football team, he
Mhm.
was always the next day. He was a great person. Like he was doing great for the community, great for other people. It was nice.
Out
Nice.
there hustling too. He knows how to keep himself relevant. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Another thing. He's an awesome athlete. Yeah, from another sport, I like Ronaldo, like the soccer guy.
Yeah.
I don't even like soccer, but this
Yeah.
guy he's motivational, and
Mhm.
he's also the richest athlete in the world right
Oh yeah.
now. So just guys like that. I think I know the answer to this, but because you already asked it, but who do you give the most credit to for your success and why? Or who or what? It could be like a trait, it could be a person, it can be anything.
Probably like probably my dad at first, and then probably my high school coach, Coach Rob Archer. That man really changed the game for me. Like I couldn't thank him enough.
Yeah. Oh, you'll have to like send him this, like the link after I post this in a couple of days and be like,
I
look,
will.
dude, look at all this love that I gave you. All right. When he becomes rich, I don't know if he's rich or not. He's like, but when you become rich, you got to give me money because I let everyone in the world know. What's your favorite thing to do outside of wrestling?
Dude, I like to. Well, that's tough. I like to lift weights a lot of the time, dude. Like nothing more I love doing than just going to the gym and just putting in a great, like, good workout. Like
You know,
I don't
pump,
know, I just like the pump, man. It just feels good.
dude. It feels great, don't it?
Yeah, it
It's
does, man. And but
yeah.
like besides that, besides like training and stuff like that, mostly just spending time with my friends. Like because you're only in college like for a short 4 years,
I miss them,
and
dude. That's one of the things I miss the most is my friends. Like the friends I made, I'll never see them again, most likely. And
exactly, man. And it's hard to say, but like I don't want to like lose these moments with my boys. Like it's been a good time.
yeah, dude, seriously, soak it up. It's like one of the things I'm super happy I did. Is the friends I had, I was really, really close with the whole time I was at Lindsay. And yeah, dude, like now those are people I spent almost every hour of every day with, and
Yeah.
I don't see them. I just don't. You know, it's because I moved away. I'm hours away. They're doing their own thing. Like life goes on super fast after you graduate. What is next for you? Let's say after wrestling, what are your aspirations after wrestling's over?
I really want to try to get into college coaching with wrestling because I don't see myself stepping away from the sport really
No,
because
me
like
neither.
it's been a part of me since I was 8 years old and I just don't want to step away from it just yet. I want to
Yeah.
continue to do it and just like inspire others to be great. But if that doesn't plan out or anything like that, I'm honestly thinking about either joining the army or maybe some other stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of up in the air about it.
Yeah, you have
But
time.
a lot of training too, and plus I've always been interested in like fighting MMA, but like
Do
that's
it. Start
it's like a
jujitsu. Start
really.
jujitsu this summer. Learn how to choke a motherfucker out. I just won worlds in jujitsu at my belt. And
Mhm.
one of the greatest experiences, I told people, Gable Stevenson clapped back at me on Flow Wrestling because I commented like something about Mason. And I was just like, Gable can whoop my ass in a wrestling match. I can put Gable to sleep. And so if you do jujitsu, you'll learn that you'll have the power to fuck motherfuckers up.
Yeah,
So I say do
that's what my
jujitsu.
buddies told me too. They said
Yeah,
I'd be probably good at it because I'm pretty funky and stuff like that. So
you
I could
would
probably
like you have a great scrambly style, which would get you in great like positions to submit people. That's dude. You don't know like the power you have. Like when you learn when you go through like a year or so more of like just learning to choke people and break ankles. You
Mhm.
don't you'll start to look at wrestling different. Like you'll start to look at the really good wrestlers like, man, you're kind of a pussy. Like
Yeah.
like I could kill you. So I'd say do jujitsu and then maybe even fight afterwards because I'm
Yeah.
sure you're like a
I
tough
mean,
ass dude.
there's a small chance going to the UFC, but you know what? I was like, well, might as well try because you know what? I'm only young once, so enjoy all this stuff I can.
Just try it, dude. Make
Yeah.
sure you're killing it with social media. I know that's like a huge thing and
Yeah, getting
getting your
that crowd
person.
behind you.
Yep, getting your personality out there. Like they'll get guys who are ass at fighting but have great personalities and they'll invite them in. It
Sales
does.
ticket.
It is. Okay. Last question. I'm sorry I've taken so much of your time, but this
Oh,
is the
dude, you're
best.
good, man. I've
This,
enjoyed this. It's been fun.
yeah, it's been awesome, dude. What is one piece of advice you'd give someone young going into the sport?
Okay. Uh, don't don't put too much into it in your head. Enjoy the little things. Enjoy going to the tournaments with your friends. Enjoy having fun. Enjoy wrestling. It's not about winning or losing. It's just about learning. It's all a learning experience, man. Like I remember going to like little youth state tournaments and stuff like that, and I didn't place. I'd be so emotional afterwards, and then my dad would just have to pick me back up, and I'd go to practice the next day. The sun's still going to rise the next day. Just enjoy the little things and have fun with it. You're only young once, man.
Right. Hell yeah, dude. That was a great answer. I agree with you completely. I don't really have anything to add on that. Thanks for coming on, dude. I'll edit this and make some clips or whatever, and then when I post it, I'll share it to you or whatever. You can share it. You don't have to, whatever. But someone's gonna enjoy hearing you talk. So, it was really great. It was fun. I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Yep. See you later, man. Good luck.
Yep. Thank you, man.
Yep.
See ya.